What up, everybody? I'm ChadO. This is ATX Comedy Review. I got Zach Leboza with the 40 and the Big Mac, and I got Brian Swinehart picking his teeth out over here. We are live on Facebook, man. Anyways, crazy week this week.
Yeah, I mean, definitely last night.
Use your fucking mic, dude. Not the 40, the mic.
But I want them 40.
I know. One the audience will hear you. The other fucking angels are going to, apparently.
Well, sooner than later, probably.
So let's see. Last Sunday, what did we do? We did the mothership last Sunday after this podcast.
Yeah.
And nobody got on, right?
Did anyone we know get on?
No.
Was that when what's his face? Big black dude got on. Was that when Whitey got on?
Oh yeah.
He's a big black dude.
He is. Yeah, Bernard White.
Yeah.
Is his name? Yes. You had a couple people get on, huh? From Ohio there. You rubbed off your Ohio luck on them there, Swinehart?
Yeah, I rubbed off my Ohio luck on them, and they all killed.
Yeah? Anybody get invited back, do you know?
I don't know, because we were only there for, we're going back. My buddies already went back, but... that audition mic is on Sunday, so they'll invite people back to the mothership from that mic sometimes. Oh, okay. So one guy did it on Sunday. Everybody liked him. Why he did great, but I don't know if they. I bet next time he comes back, he'll be able to get a spot.
Just curious. Yeah.
That'd be fucking cool.
Anybody get on Kill Tony? What you know?
No.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And you've been sitting out here for the last 2 Kill Tonys. Gonna do third one tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm gonna go tomorrow.
That's cool.
I have fun. I mean, it's fun to go and do it. I mean, what else am I doing while I'm here?
Right. How many mics did you hit this week?
Man, I'd have to go through and look. I think I only did a couple shows, really. I don't even know. I mean, I just kind of I've been spending more time just kind of going to the mothership and getting the lay of the land.
You been hanging out inside? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah? You get tickets or just walking in? You got Joe Rogan just walking in or what?
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, hey, it's swine time. I said, yeah, it is. Let's go.
Right on. So you just been hanging out in the back or watching shows or what?
Yeah, I've been hanging in the back watching the shows.
Right on.
Yeah.
See anything cool?
I like how it's set up, man. I love how they did that. It's called the little room, but it's set up just like the belly room, but better.
Right.
They don't have that weird. In the belly room, there's like this one section that's kind of weird onto the side. And
it's also like dirty.
Yeah. So everything about it it was pretty cool, man. I really think they did an awesome job building that room. Mm-hmm. And
did they scan your face?
No, I wouldn't have went. But you know how I was worried about that. I was pissed, dude. But
do you think that was a made-up thing?
It could have been.
Because I have never seen it.
Yeah, that would have been just messed up, dude.
Yeah,
I would believe it. I mean, there I am.
Yeah, they said they scanned IDs at one point, but they never scanned faces.
Your ID scan, but yeah, I was just like...
Because she knew what I was talking about when I was bringing it up.
Yeah.
This guy is the one who brought it up. I think it's just some fucking propaganda you get on your Facebook feed. Probably. Keep you going.
Definitely not on TikTok for him.
Yeah. So Monday was Kill Tony. Did you do any mics after? You did. You ended up at the creek afterwards. You didn't see Theo Vaughn though, huh?
No, but I ran into Theo the next day.
That's funny.
Yeah, but...
So I tell you where he's at, but you don't fucking hook me up or nothing. You don't tell me what's up. You don't invite me to the mothership, nothing like this.
Well, I'm just standing out there and I see him. Well, what's up, man?
Yeah, okay, that's cool. I see. Anyways, so did you do any mics on Tuesday? Or you did the Creek in the Cave. How was that?
It was fine. I mean, it's kind of mainly comics.
It was nobody in the audience on that Monday night.
Nah.
I had a little bit of access. We had a couple of people.
Access, all right.
Yeah, it was good. There was a couple people, but there was a lot of overflow from that Killed Tony. Just new comics in town that were watching. And
Access doesn't seem to care that they got rid of the Thursday show. And they still done.
Yeah.
No effects.
Yeah, and I make fun of the place every time I'm up there too. So.
It's tiny.
Yeah. It's a man cave.
Right. Well, and it's small, and then the bar, for some reason, they're like, we're gonna wrap this around and take up even more fucking space.
You can go outside if you want.
Yeah.
It's cool though. It wasn't too bad of a mic. But Tuesday, I ended up doing a challenge mic, which was a fun one. I almost missed it because I guess everybody's missing the shows because I was like 12th on the spot. And by the time I got there, it was like 8:40, and I already missed my spot by like 8 people.
So do you think people are just signing up and
Disappearing,
going off to try and sign up somewhere else?
Yeah, I think so. That's what Maggie said. The people just start disappearing in May.
But where are they trying to sign up?
I have no
There's
clue.
nothing over there.
I have no
Anderson
clue.
Mills after.
Yeah, maybe they're just trying to get on the list early. I don't know. It's weird. So yeah, everybody just disappeared.
That's fucking okay.
Yeah. Did you do Roscoe's or anything, or?
I feel like did something happen Tuesday? Where was I? I must have done Roscoe's. I did Roscoe's Thursday.
Okay.
I did that because they had the like surprise open mic. That was okay, but I was like 34th.
We had that tag riding mic on Wednesday, and then you had that Ohio Invasion right after that. Yeah, that tag riding mic was interesting. My mom was in the audience for that one, so
Nice.
the subject was paper, and then I did 3 minutes on her and a minute on Brian.
Okay.
It was pretty fun.
Does she live down here?
No, she was just coming through town. She went from Sarasota to Oklahoma. They were just passing through
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So they
Fucking drive.
Yeah, that's why they stopped by for a couple days. Long enough to ask me why doesn't comedy pay money, and yeah.
Wait, where's the David Lucas pick?
Oh, I didn't get to put it up here yet.
You're gonna put it there.
Yeah, it'll be up here soon.
Swindled.
Yeah, and I think it was like $40, dude. I think
Jesus.
maybe he charged me for a t-shirt. I don't know, dude. I might dispute it.
Sorry, Dave.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see what's up with that.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah, dispute that charge.
So that was Wednesday. Then Thursday was Roscoe's surprise mic.
Yeah, how was that?
Busy. I was like 34th. I thought they were gonna do it like they always do, where it's
So it was more like an Anderson Mill mic.
yeah. And it was. I think everyone got 4 minutes. If you brought someone, you got 5. And I was like, dude, this is gonna be a fucking slog.
You could have brought me.
I count you as a guest.
Yeah, and
You
then
went to sign up?
I'll count you as a guest. Yeah.
And they'd be like, the fuck is going on?
Yeah, everybody bring somebody. Everybody bring a comic.
Well, I was hoping because it was like a surprise mic that no one would be there.
Yeah.
And it was just fucking packed.
They're watching it. Did you go by Roscoe's at all, Brian?
Haven't been there yet. No.
The two of you.
Yeah, I haven't been by there, but I live here. He has an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
He was staying out in the middle of nowhere for our Airbnb. All right, dog, come on. There you go.
Oh,
too fat.
Almost.
All right, back on track. You good? Ready to hit?
Hit that bomb.
All right.
Snail Haven's canceled tonight.
Why is that?
I have no idea.
That's
I just
that's
saw
like
that
2
they
weeks in a
said
row,
no.
right?
Was it canceled last week?
I think
Then,
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Sandjack was canceled the week before that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, all these mics are just like popping off and on. It's interesting. But then again, when there's not really, it's the same shit over and over.
Yeah.
There's nothing. What's new?
Well, and the same people go to the same mics.
Yeah.
It's like,
What's new? Nothing new. So for Brian in town with his Ohio Invasion, how did the Ohio show go?
Oh, it was awesome, dude. I mean, we had a good time.
Lucky Duck had a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people there when I left.
There was a lot of people. From what I saw, not that I go every week, but I thought there was a lot of people there.
Yeah.
And we liked it. Alden liked it. So, in the future, we might do it again.
Did the conservative stuff go better with the Ohio Invasion stuff than it did with the tag riding mic? Or?
Oh, that was awesome. I didn't do the same jokes as I did it earlier, but you mean how the person came up to me afterward? Is that what you're saying?
The one who followed you on stage, you mean? Not came up after you, but did their set on you, you're talking about? Yeah.
Hey,
What's this?
I never mind if I do my set and then after the person after me, their set is about me too. That's just more on me,
Yeah.
My set was about you, too.
Exactly, dude. I was sandwiched. Everybody's.
Yeah.
well, which is funny because Cody Mack did not it's like, do not talk about me if you go after me. We had a guy on the last 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, they talk shit about me. I was like, it's okay, bro. It's comedy. Don't worry about it.
That's the thing that people do.
Yeah.
Well, his was a little bit not so much shit talking, more of
Yeah.
yeah, it was a little different.
Oh, yeah.
I think
I have my trans bit, pronoun bit, all this, and I'm working it out, doing my thing, and then the person next after me says, "I'm transitioning." I said, "Oh, okay," and like. And I clearly didn't like the material I did. But it's like, hey, you know what? I say what I say, and there's a lot of people. there's a lot of people in this world who think like I do. If you're gonna be doing that, you gotta just roll. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's like
there's some punches you got.
there's some punches. It's gonna be some jokes that are gonna be made about that. It's a funny topic. So and it's a very hot topic right now, right? I mean, it's one of the more talked about things in the news and in even comics, everything. So it's like, okay, if that's where your life is, man. I mean, I ain't judging, but I am making jokes on it. Okay, like.
Well, they try to cancel Chappelle and Burr for it, so it's like, everyone's talking about it. It's not just.
It's like so.
All levels of comedy, people have an opinion on it.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna okay, so you don't like it. That's what's going on with your life. You're not gonna get me to stop talking about it.
Well, it's like kind of like doing black clubs. Like, if you have black people material, they're probably going to like it the most.
Totally.
It's usually white liberal women that are like, no.
100%.
Well, I don't think the trans guy liked it that much.
No,
though.
I don't think the trans
You don't think so? His next.
The trans guy, Chad? Oh, you.
I'll say Finnegan, his comic's name.
Is it just Finnegan?
I don't remember his last name or their last name.
Okay.
But I said when I went up to him on Wednesday, I fist bumped him. I said, "Hey, brother," or is that sister? I called him my brother.
Yeah.
He's like, "Thanks for appreciating, or thanks for thinking about it at least."
We all sisters out here.
Yeah.
Thanks, sister.
I do call everybody brother, even if they are girls.
Yeah.
Or becoming one.
Well, it's like dude or guy. I'll be like, "What's up, guys?" And they'll be like, "I'm a woman here." I'm like, "Okay." I'm addressing the group.
Yeah.
Well, I'm individually addressing you as brother a lot of times. Yeah.
Well, you're just Hulk Hogan, man.
Yeah,
you can't help yourself.
I'm a stoned California guy from Chicago. Yeah.
So that was Wednesday. Thursday was
Was your surprise mic, and then Friday,
some guy from Dallas came down and did really well.
Where?
At Roscoe's. I think they were trying to get him to do Tonight Show, but I think he's back in Dallas or something.
Okay.
Or he was going to New York. Indian dude, I forget his name. Something Patel. And that's not me being racist. It wasn't. It was Patel.
Yeah, that's funny. Interesting that these guys that come in like Cam. So I guess we're here to Sunday. Might as well.
Yeah, we can talk about last night.
Yeah. So last night we ended up at Austin City Limits. All right.
That mood.
Is it Austin City Limits? Yep. Yeah. Okay. Live, but we were there to see Kill Tony live, right? All three of us were in different, there. But we were supposed to be on the balcony. So a fan of the show got us balcony tickets.
Shout out.
Very nice. And Mike Lama, yeah.
Mike, assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, you know Mike, shout out to you, brother.
You're the fucking man.
Mike Lama. It's just, yeah.
Also,
Anyways.
strong hands.
Big dude, awesome guy, very cool dude. So he gets us tickets for the balcony. We're up at way up in the balcony, and we're gonna go up there. And they're like, "Hey man, we don't like our seats. Why don't you come down and trade us seats?" So I go down there, and he actually catches up with us at the balcony. So we actually catch him at the balcony, and he's like, "Hey, come downstairs with us." So we go back downstairs. And he gives us these seats, and I say, "Okay, well, give me the paper," and he's gonna go take the other seats. Well, he doesn't. And the seats that he gives us apparently aren't the seats on the paper either. But we end up down there. We're like right by Christie, we're the production of the whole show.
Right.
We're seeing, like, for somebody in production producing a podcast, it was really cool to be right there where we were.
You're watching the soundboard.
Yeah. I'm watching.
Tom Segura and Joe Rogan are on stage, and Chad's like, "Dude, this soundboard engineer is crushing."
All you can see is Red Band's fat head. Is all you can see. But yeah, it was fun. We saw everybody come in, and we saw the insides and outsides of the show that people weren't seeing. We were hearing things that people weren't hearing, and so it was kind of cool to have that inside knowledge, especially having this podcast first off,
right? And
then have that spot in that seat.
We got the hot goss guys. We're ready.
It was crazy.
Well, too, it's like I wonder how much the booing, because we talked about it a little, and you were there, but there was like a few poll comics that got booed, and it's like, how much is that going to get picked up on the mics for the show?
Yeah.
And how much is it? Because it was a couple times pretty thunderous.
I was in a rowdy mood.
You were in a rowdy mood.
And I feel like I might have been the first one to do it a couple times. and I think it might have caught on.
Spread like wildfire.
If I might have maybe 3,000 people booed this person, but it was for the show.
So if that doesn't make you want to be a better comic. ChadO was able to rally all of Austin against you.
Yeah, so there's that. But yeah, man, it was a good show. The production was good. The overall, it was a long, cool thing.
No one did Secret Show, right?
No,
I'm
nobody
guessing
got
you just
invited.
didn't have.
No, that one chick, who did 30 seconds, she might have got it if her boyfriend wasn't there.
Yeah.
So you guys watched it from the back though, right, Brian?
Yeah, I didn't really see all of it. I didn't
You were
see
just
much.
being a loner in the back by the corner.
Yeah, I was just chilling out there.
Like, I'm better than you fuckers. I don't need this shit, right?
I know a
didn't
few
say
people
that.
had the phones out.
Yeah,
with it
people
on.
had their phones out and stuff watching it, but I was just kind of chilling in that kind of area, and I saw the guy who got called whose leg shaked.
Yeah.
You saw him come back, and he was still like a little.
Just bouncing everywhere.
Yeah, oh my God.
Well, it's like I feel so bad. Like on one half, he had a really good minute.
Well, he got a big joke book, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was
good.
slow at the start, but like he picked up steam and had a good minute.
Yeah.
Had a good interview.
And then like the leg shaking, made the interview good, but also it's like, well, if you're gonna do this every time you're on stage, we can't try. So it's one of those.
Yeah.
He really needs, for someone who had a great minute and a great interview, he needs like a redemption one where he can just stand up there and not have.
I mean,
that
that's
happen.
a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
He's in front of 3,000 people.
Plus the 10th anniversary.
But he also said he does it in front of everybody, in front of small
regular,
crowds.
yeah.
That's what they asked him, just
Yeah.
to even see, and he still admitted to it's
like
it's
that
all the time. Yeah.
So.
Well, unless he could find a way to work it in.
Right. Yeah, he could be like the guy who stutters.
I was gonna say Jared
Lynch.
Nathan, just be like Jared Nathan, but with a leg. Just give him a tambourine on it.
He'll be like, that punchline didn't hear it. My leg's going harder.
Yeah. You know the Boo Ha guy, Mikey. What's his name? Mike McPherson. Mike.
Something. I got it.
Yeah, he was a Kill Tony guy out there in LA for a while, and anyways,
Mike McKernan.
Mike McKernan. You know that?
I know Mikey,
With long hair.
I love Mikey,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
he's my buddy.
Yeah. I figured you know him. That makes sense.
You know all the lunatics.
Yeah, I love Mikey.
Yeah.
He seems cool.
Yeah. Anyways, but Tony's the one who told him to do the Boo Ha thing. I was on Kill Tony where it came out because he did it after one thing. He's like, you should do that after every time.
punchline.
Yeah. So that's where that started. Yeah. You still haven't finished that fucking burger yet, man? What are you doing?
Which
Sucking
also
on it?
like Tony could just be fucking with him.
Yeah.
Tony could just be like,
Well, yeah, that's the problem.
yeah.
Is it really good for your career or not?
Yeah.
You know?
Or is he being an ass? He's like, wow, I buried this guy forever now. But it does work. I've seen a couple clips of him online.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it does work. What do you think? Like, you were telling Michael Malama to stay silent, right?
Well, that worked the first time, but I didn't see him the second time.
Yeah.
But I saw him
He
the
didn't
second
stay.
time.
He didn't stay silent.
I didn't
Yeah.
see the first show. I saw his second show.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen him around.
But then
a lot.
I said, man, maybe you just go and become that famous off of it, you know?
Yeah. Well, Aaron Belial did really good at staying silent.
You're such an ass. You're a fucking monster.
I don't know the backstory.
Yeah.
He's the guy who's got palsy and he can't talk, so he has to text.
He texts every
remember.
bit.
Okay.
It's gonna be rough headlining. 45 minutes with that.
His thumb's gonna be
mean,
so
I get-
tired.
yeah.
He's gonna have like an exercise thing where he's just like every day. Like
There's
there's like
one guy-
guitarists, who have those spring things. He's gonna have a little jam
Yeah.
thing. Just
Well, everyone has crowd work specials now that they're dropping.
wow.
His crowd work special would be insane. Having it go off every. All right. No, I got you heckling me. Let me.
but it's the
Yeah. It's coming.
the delivery of his expressions is what it is. It's just the delivery.
But too, it's like he's like the robot voice is right. It doesn't seem like him.
Yeah, it's a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fun.
I remember I did a show with him, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna try all my clean stuff because like I'm working more like corporate gigs and shit." I was like, "Cool, man. Like, let me know what you need, whatever." I set up the mic for him and shit. And he goes up there, he does like one joke, and then he just goes, "So when I masturbate," and I was like, "Bro!"
Sorry, wrong file.
And he came back. He's like, "Nah, I just like the dirty stuff too much." I was like, "All right, bro, whatever." Yeah, he's funny. He's a good guy.
I asked him out in line, why don't you have it pre-programmed? He's like, because he wanted to be in the moment typing it,
Yeah.
But then Redman set it all up where it's just all of his jokes are just you can't sit there and type it for the.
Well, I think he has it so he can choose.
Yeah.
So he can, if this doesn't work, he can go over to this one and that one. And
which
shit.
is like how Hans has his stuff set up,
right?
But he does it with his head,
with his brain. Yeah. Which should we talk about? Do we think Hans wants out? Do we think Tony wants him out? Do we think a mix?
So when Swinehart and I were in that green room one time, we saw Tony yell at Hans because he wasn't writing enough new material, and he
a new minute a week isn't enough for Tony.
Well,
I guess it is.
Yeah, and plus, he's touring with Joe. You gotta have 15, 30. You gotta have good stuff.
Well, and it has to connect.
Yeah. So he went off on him, and that's when I was like, I think I've seen Hans do new stuff all the time. Yeah, I see him around, and then that's when Tony goes, does his Swinehart impression. He's like, man, I sure wish my buddy Chad would shut the fuck up. Oh yeah, but
kind of right now, bro.
See, I saw Hans eat mushrooms on stage at Roscoe's. That was a wild fight. I was like, well, and with like how like pinpoint accurate he is with his jokes, I was like, this is crazy. This is. I was like, this show might get out of control real quick.
But if he doesn't, if he's not writing new stuff and he's just want to be a ladies' man or whatever, then they might be trying to find some new stuff. But then again, it can just be time. Like David Lewis retired.
David's out. Cam's in.
What's his name?
Shout out Florida.
William Montgomery going in the Hollywood Hall of Fame. The
Kill Tony Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Whatever that's
what Tony should just start buying the sidewalk and have like podcast stars. Like just Joe, Tom.
If we have enough fans, eventually somebody's going to graffiti that up.
What? The stars?
Yeah.
Trump will get one and he'll keep jackhammering it like on the Hollywood
I was just thinking with spray paint. Now you're fucking, yeah.
You remember that? When like five times in like a month, they're like, fuck this star. I was like, you guys.
Yeah, they lost money on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, what do we think? Montgomery's staying though, right? He's not going anywhere.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah. I mean, maybe I don't know. Is he touring? Brian?
Well, I think he gets a lot of gigs because that one time Tony said every time they go somewhere, the managers are asking William at the end of the weekend, "Hey man, we'd love to have you be a headliner." So.
Okay.
Does he do a headlining a lot?
I mean, I don't know, but I would never want to follow that guy.
No.
Yeah.
I don't see how he can't be the headliner. How the heck does anybody follow that guy?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be at work.
No, I'm just trying to find his Instagram.
So should we talk
trying
about
to figure out what
Jack
if he's doing stuff. I gotta be at Vulcan, bro. I got a 2-hour shift at Vulcan right now. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
I got a 45-minute shift.
Yeah, he's 15 minutes late, so it was cut down to like a 20-minute shift.
Yeah, we saw Jack and Isabella Sosa on the way there, and Isabella was the first one to get pulled. What happened was Tony reached in the bucket, pulled out a bunch of names to talk like how he does every time, and one fell out. And everybody goes, oh, and he goes, oh, you want that one to be the first one? Okay. And if it would have been her, anyways, and he goes, okay, and he pulls it up and he hands it off, and they go looking for her, and they come looking in this audience. They ask us, do you know where she is? And yeah, we do. We just fucking saw her.
Just a beer with her.
Yeah. So we literally just saw the person that they're looking for, like just moments before, knowing that they're not going to be there because they have a show at Roscoe's.
Shout out. Roscoe's is getting a lot of hype today.
Yeah, but they're not getting any audience. I don't want. I haven't been there. I don't want to.
Well, they had a rough. Yesterday it was the 10th anniversary and 2 Theo Vaughn shows and Mother shit that they were competing with.
Yeah.
So I could see it being a little.
But why sign up for 3,000?
Why would you sign up
and then go to a 15 audience?
Well, because that has to hurt. So, I would be staying up at night every night for the next year and a half, being like, God damn it, why wasn't I there?
Her beard's gonna look like yours tomorrow.
Yeah. She's gonna punch her in the face. Nah, it's just how I look.
Yeah. What do you say, Matt?
No, that would keep me up, bro. I would be, but I saw her after. She was cool about it.
Well, because she got there and everybody told her. Well, no, because Connor called Jack.
Connor called Jack.
Yeah, so they knew before she walked up there. She still walked up there knowing that I fucked up.
Well, and she could have gotten lucky
And they
like, I feel like if it was a regular Kill Tony, she probably would have gotten on at the end.
Yeah, but they're like, no, you missed it.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Well, because it was just... And instead we got a crazy transgender who lived all over America. They could have put her on as the last.
She told that story. Man, that was such a...
Did you follow it at all?
No.
I couldn't make heads or tails of what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, that was a rough story.
It felt like she was reading the back of a baseball card. It was all stats.
Yeah.
I lived here, I lived there. All right, what the fuck?
But it was about a guy.
It finally ended with like some guy bought me a drink. And we're like, that's also not a punchline.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I mean, who's this guy?
He's
pretty desperate.
That's right. Turns out it was Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
It's like, oh, you forgot that detail?
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
That's behind us.
No, it's fucked up again.
No.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
What is that?
There we go. That's better, huh?
What is that?
That's from Bill and Ted.
Oh, okay. I've seen it, not for a while. I never got that big into Bill and Ted. How many Bill and Ted drops do you have? 3 is too many.
69 dudes!
I have 3.
So Hans, we think we're 50-50, it seems like. Some of us think he wants out, some of us think he's getting pushed out.
Are you seeing him tour in Ohio at all?
I saw that he had a gig in Indiana, but I was out of town that week, or I would have drove out there to see it.
Really? You would have drove out there to
Yeah,
see
why not?
Hans?
I mean, that's not too far.
No, it's not far.
It sounds like it's far. It's like Connecticut and Virginia and all that shit now, huh?
No, Ohio's like an Indiana. Dude, I live
Right next to you,
an
yeah.
hour and 10 minutes probably.
Right.
Which also, like, out in the Midwest, it doesn't feel like an hour here because you're only going 10 miles is super annoying. Whereas you're going like 45.
Yeah,
and you're like,
you
it's not that bad.
see stuff, you put on some good music.
Right.
And
You're
good.
going 60, so you get
Yeah.
like adrenaline.
Yeah, it's country, I like it.
And you don't have to pay much attention because it's just straight.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, no one cut me off and
Yeah.
we're good. I don't have stop signs and
Totally.
signals and all that.
So, Brian, you're an actor. You see your camera over there? You see your framing?
No,
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think either way, Hans will be fine. I don't think he needs Kill Tony anymore. I think I think he could tour just fine.
You think he's doing okay with the dating show? The other people?
The dating show might take a hit. I mean, now that he's headlined enough places that they know him, he can go back in 2 years and he can go get other new places to headline at and be a touring comic, a road dog for a while.
Yeah.
I do wonder who opens for him.
I
If he
wonder
just is.
who's opening for Rogan now.
Oh, it's because he's not?
Is he not? That's what I'm wondering.
I think Montgomery does.
Yeah. Rogan's got to follow that.
I feel Rogan's fine. No, because I know Montgomery. Joe said something last night. He's like, yeah, he opens for me in arenas. So,
Yeah.
but also I don't know how often Joe's going out and hitting shit right now.
Yeah.
I feel like his episode drops have been higher. I feel he's got like 4 or 5 every week.
Oh, really? I feel like it's been less.
You feel it's
Yeah, I feel like the mothership it's been less because it used to
Really?
be more. Yeah. I used to think he'd put more out, and now it's been less. That's how I
Okay.
feel.
Well, also too, if like the mothership's making money, he wanted to break even. If he's
Yeah. Well, I know he's not doing like Creek in the Cave as much or whatnot,
Right.
but he did do Vulcan not too long ago. But I know he does, Rogan and Friends pretty regularly,
regularly.
but not as regularly as he was doing Vulcan.
well, I also wonder, is he working on a new hour for a special, or is he just having fun, enjoying this time in his life where he owns a club?
Yeah, that's the thing. It seems like he's always working on new stuff, whereas like Ron White and Tony Hinchcliffe, not so much.
Right.
Whereas Tony's yelling at people to work on new stuff, but he's still doing the same old shit. Doesn't it seem like?
When's his last special came out? 6 years ago?
I don't know.
I think so. I don't know. Tony's on Netflix?
Oh, I don't know. I thought I might be.
He might have had a recent one. I don't know.
Let's find out.
But I
Jamie,
do think
pull that up.
I do think Christina P did like 2 months in the Red Room at Cap City, which sold out, which sucked too because it sold out on Tuesdays immediately. And I was like, why don't you just like do the main room? Because I wanted to go. I was like, oh, I could go watch Christina P like work on a new set, and it's only like a 50, 60 person room. I was like, come on, just do it. You know you're going to get the audience. I guess she just wanted it to be closer so she could talk to people and be like, what do you think of that joke? Maybe shit like that. I would have loved, that would have been such a good learning experience. Mm-hmm. But she sold out every ticket in like 10 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was.
Making Friends was in 2021.
So 2 years?
Yeah, I was on YouTube one. And it's an hour.
Doesn't he have a Netflix one? At top, doesn't it have a Netflix one under it?
No.
What's that 2016? Distributor?
Oh,
Netflix?
One Shot, yeah.
One Shot?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so he hasn't had a special in 2 years. That's standard. Another year or so. I mean, Tom Segura drops them every year and a half, but he's a lunatic. So I can't wait. 4th of July, his new one.
Did you ever do a special there, Brian? You ever put a thing together for YouTube or anything?
Yeah, I mean, I had that show I did. I filmed a couple of things, I guess. Well, at the time, I was just filming and putting them on YouTube, but now I think people would probably call them specials. The way people
How long were they?
45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, I did one at San Jose and one at Brea, and then at 3 clubs I did one too. So yeah, I guess sort of. I mean, I didn't. It was just.
It's at least comedy online. And it's a solid.
Two great. I mean, I think for what they were, 45 minutes. I mean, it's me headlining and I'm just filming it. And
you could send them out to clubs and shit and be like, yeah, here's 45. Here's another 45. Here's whatever.
Yeah. So, so I would say now on those there were repeats, because like certain jokes I kind of set up, but then there's other ones that aren't on them both.
Yeah. Did you burn any of the material or?
Get rid of it for good. Some I guess I did. Some, but I still have these materials that I did on those that I've never really properly
taped.
Yeah, and audio too, because Chad and I were talking about that. Because I have a couple bits that I would love to be on like Sirius Radio or something that I think would fit. The truck driving crowd that listens to that type of stuff. Haven't had a good audio.
What's their comedy one? Raw Bone or something?
Yeah, raw.
Not Raw Dog.
Yeah, but
not a bad name.
But there's a couple bits that I don't really do that much.
But something out there.
But I still have them that I haven't like monetized it to the highest level.
Still a bartender.
Yeah. I'm a professional, Chad.
Yeah.
There has to be a reason you brought me on here. It's so I can open your beers.
Yeah, man. Brian needed a ride.
Yeah, I'm a taxi and a beer opener. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's cool, though.
Yeah, so we'll see. Next year when I do Wiley's in Dayton, we're going to do a 3-camera shoot.
Tight.
Yeah, and I don't want to get the good audio and just, try to do that.
How many seats is that?
It's like 175, 100. It's anywhere between 150 and 200, really. I mean, but
Well, that's good.
yeah. So it's my hometown, or close to my hometown, and
You get people out, fill it out.
I always have a
Have good
decent
sound.
crowd. So if I can just get the sound, and I still would like to do it other places too, but just like, I don't know. So everything's so weird right now because it's kind of like they're like back when like a special was like, man, it's hard to get. You had to get kind of lucky. You had to meet the right person who had to. And now it's like I feel like anybody can just I put a YouTube special out, But I guess that if you have a good following, though, I think there's a good way to make some money off of because I saw like Ryan Sickler put one out and he had like in a couple of days like 400,000 views, and I'm like,
Jesus,
man, if
that was Lefty's son.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, man, if people are watching all the way through, that could rake up you some money, I think.
Yeah.
But they say that most people really don't watch stuff through.
All the way through, yeah. That's why, like, the short... Like, I mean, look at Matt Rife right now. He just got a world tour, and he mostly puts on TikTok shit.
Yeah. He's smart, dude. Yeah.
Sucking the dick of communist China. And on TikTok.
But, but Yeah, but you can see how that, because I have friends in Ohio that were like, when he came to Wiley's, they were like, hey, can you get me tickets? And so I didn't know he had gotten so famous, because I still remember him from LA, like at the Laugh Factory and stuff, and he was always cool.
Was that while he was on Wild 'N Out or before?
Yeah, right around then, and maybe right after even. I don't know the exact. I mean, I'm not really I never really followed Wild 'N Out too much to know what their thing. I mean, I've seen it on TV, but it's not like I know which season or something like that. So, but I remember just seeing him from time to time. Laugh Factory, Comedy Stories from Ohio. So we were always cool.
Well, and he seems to be like more of a grinder type, because like there's not like a one
like gay.
Yeah, like on Grinder. But there's not like one. Like he didn't have.
Sorry, ladies, he's gay.
He's gay. You're not gonna. He takes that belt off with one hand. That's gay, bro. Like he didn't.
You know his bits. That's gay, bro.
Bill Burr had the Philly show that really blew him up, and Bert had the Machine story and shit like that. Whereas like him, I feel like just slowly
over time and
got more and more fans, and now it's like I can charge $50 a ticket in a 3,000 seat place and fill it out. And it's like, all right.
Yeah, he's gonna make, if he's doing 3,050,
that's fucking
30,000 or something. Or I don't know.
No, it's 30,000 times. It's 150,000.
150,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Plus T-shirts, posters, and all that shit.
If they're $45 for a picture.
Yeah, they're $48 for a David Lucas picture.
Yeah, there's gonna be way more for him.
Again, ChadO fanned himself with a black man. That seems borderline slavery.
You paid $45 for a pic?
I think so. I don't even know. I have to wait for it to clear on my fucking
how
bank.
Did you pay?
It was a phone. Yeah, it was just about to die, and I was like, click.
Oh man.
Yeah. So it went through.
It's so funny.
I was like, it went through, huh? Thanks so much.
I didn't see the interaction at all, and we left and we're like super stoked about the show, and then he comes down the stairs just sad, and I was like, "What's up, Chad?" He's like, $48 for this. I was like, "Oh, all right."
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't the highlight of my evening. Let's just say.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
So anyways, Creek was fine last night. That was fun.
Yeah. It was a cool little hangout. We didn't see any shows. There was stuff going on inside.
Yeah.
But,
well, I've seen all of it so many times.
That's the thing, man. I really don't ever want somebody to say that.
What?
I tried to make it where nobody says that.
What? I've seen it all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, with your material, you're saying? Yeah. No, it's like they don't rotate the comics.
Yeah.
I get it. They're all your buddies, and you want them on, but it's like.
Well, yeah. If they just make a new show, then you would see new stuff all the time too.
But I gotta imagine that's hard to sell tickets when they're like, oh, the same 8 comics doing the same bits. It's like,
yeah, dude.
I'm sure they have a couple new ones thrown in, but
yeah. You as a 16-year comic there, Brian, and somebody who's known me for a while, you saw my shit I wrote that day. Coming up with stuff. You think it's coming up as a comic? I'm gonna get your opinion on that.
You're ready for YouTube special. Not Netflix, but YouTube. You should film it, put it up on YouTube. Here's my new special. It's 4 minutes.
Don't call it a special.
Don't call it a special.
I guess you'll burn it.
The Lucky Duck special. Okay.
That's actually not a bad name.
Actually, I was putting all those tag writings together, so like it will be like so you see, because they all are different.
Right.
So eventually,
that's not bad.
Yeah.
Well, just do comedy at Lucky Duck.
Yeah.
Who gives a...
Change the shirt every time.
I just don't think...
Every 4 minutes, every 5 minutes, there's a new shirt change.
I just don't like the moniker special if the material's not burnt. Like if you're on Netflix's Comedians or the 20
I have
minutes
never
of
done
Comedy
material
Central.
again. I have never done showers, vacuum cleaners, paper, or anything else in my regular days. But
you're like, none of the material was good enough to bring onto my regular show, so fuck it.
Some of it did make through though, but yeah. No, that was all stuff just to just for that.
But thanks, Alden.
Yeah, I think that mic is cool though, because it did. I didn't know that the topic was paper that you write on, but I think just the fact that, and it's also, it teaches, because see, I honestly, maybe this is a flaw, but I don't pay attention to a lot of people's shows when I'm out at shows, because it just gets, honestly, it's boring.
It's
as
redundant.
Shit. Yeah. And but when you're doing,
well, especially you want to be on it.
Yeah, you want to be on. You're doing your own thing. Right?
I always tell people, like, it's like being at a water park and you're in line, and you see all the people going down having fun. Like, it's kind of cool to see it. You're like, oh, look at those people. But then you're like, can I fucking go?
Yeah.
I want to.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good analogy. So I think that, like along those lines, is that with that mic, it's pretty cool to just that you're tagging and you're watching people's sets. And you know what I found is some people I can't tag any of their things because their topics are so garbage that.
I would just say their style's different.
No, I'm saying
This is the first time Chad has ever softened a blow.
Yeah, softened.
Usually Chad's like,
Because I went ahead before him, you know.
Yeah, but there are some topics. There are some topics that I'm just like, but that teaches me is like, okay, I don't want to do that type of thing. I don't like that. I don't like that. And also, if they don't already have jokes written, how you gonna tag?
You're right.
Right? You can't tag something that's not even like
in joke format.
Yeah.
Like what's
the poetic butcher?
Last night's person. You couldn't tag a single fucking
Juanita.
Yeah, no. What? Oh, is that okay? Juanita. Yeah.
That's a joke.
I was thinking of
that's a joke.
I was thinking of Aquafina or whatever her fucking name was.
Yeah, Juanita.
Aphrodite. That's what her name was.
You're talking about
No. Aphrodite was good. Juanita was bad. You couldn't tag a single thing because there was you have to make a punchline to tag it.
So I might have been really like extremely high at the show, and Aphrodite was really looking funny to me, just with her big
afro.
And the distance we were, her head was so tiny, and her body was big, and her hair was big, but her face just disappeared into it. And then what you did see looked like a 1910 Mickey Mouse cartoon.
First time in podcast history, ChadO was racist before me. Look at that. Chad,
well, actually,
you were borderline.
Actually,
you did it very
Walt
nice.
Disney was racist before all of us. I was just referencing how he liked to draw certain people
in a certain way.
Yeah. And
then he completely refused to draw another certain people.
And then in 2023, there was one on stage. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. It looks.
I like too that. Like,
I'm getting borderline. Sorry.
I like that. Everyone's like, oh, Walt Disney was anti-Semitic, but also won an Oscar for an anti-Hitler cartoon. So it's like, okay, he might have been, but he also was helping. He wasn't hurting.
All that memorabilia is just research for that cartoon. He has all the glass cases so that he can reference the cartoon.
He just wanted Donald Duck to be very
accurate. Speaking of, the family and I, we're watching Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I
still don't know if we're speaking of Nazis or
cartoons.
The new one or the old one?
We did the new one first.
Okay.
The new one first, and then we did the old one second, which is so much better because they sing, and especially if you're getting pretty high, there's some good. It's fun.
It's more colorful too.
Yeah. And then the other one, first off, why is Tim Burton have to have backstory about everybody's dad? That's so stupid.
He worked in a toothpaste capping factory. Great.
It's so stupid. No need that. Anyways, but then on the movie thing I was watching it on, they gave me this Tom and Jerry version of it.
What?
Yeah. There's a Tom and Jerry version of Willy Wonka and the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And what happens, it's a parallel story that's happening at the same time, but the cat and the mouse just are off screen of the other movie. So all that shit's happening during the whole thing, but then the cat and the mouse are doing their thing.
Of the Wilder movie?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it was like
really
it was an alternate view of what was happening of the show.
And is it all cartoon? Or
yeah, it's all cartoon.
So there's no like live action.
No,
they don't run on the set and like a bunch of Oompa Loompa in the face.
No, but like the Candyman singing and stuff, they're down there like in between like the ladder running around.
Crazy.
Yeah. So it was kind of a cool find.
God damn you, Chad. Yeah. Now I have to go watch Tom and Jerry when I get home. I'm going to miss Comedy Mothership because I got down a rabbit hole of Tom and Jerry doing Roald Dahl movies.
There's that.
So the connection between the two is Roald Dahl's also anti-Semitic. Was that
No, Walt Disney I think is where I was going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But I don't think everything has to be anti-Semitic. That's where you go.
It's just better when it is.
Yeah.
Better,
Swinehart's with that.
God damn it.
Sounds like a good cartoon. I like it.
So anyways, man, how was your weekend in Austin there?
Oh, it was fun, man. Just, seeing a different thing. Went swimming at that
Barton Creek. Dude, you got to get this name right.
What was it called?
Barton Creek.
Barton Creek.
Barton Springs, same thing.
Barton Springs. And so did that, and we had fun. Guys from Ohio, a couple guys from Ohio never been this far away from home, so that's was crazy. Cool for them. Yeah.
I feel like the Midwest still has that, where the people are just like,
I'm good.
What do you mean move? You know, they're like, I went to Iowa for school. That's a whole 100 miles away. I'm like, yeah, but not really. But it's also the exact fucking same.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So that was pretty cool. And
do you see any good titties at Barton Creek, or?
Dude, that's crazy. They just walk around like that, man.
Oh, what? I don't know about this.
You know, Barton Creek is like, you can be like full nude, I think.
Full?
I think
He's like, where's that part at?
Yeah, I saw half. Topless.
That's why they're charging $9.
Yeah.
It's the cheapest.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's the cheapest strip club in town.
Yeah. We can't say that. We're trying to get funded by the Gentlemen's Club around the way.
Is it?
Are you really?
No.
Oh.
That's a Zach.
But I also might.
Zach's
I might start calling.
wishful thinking. He hasn't done any work towards it.
No. But I also think it'd be hilarious to have strippers walking around as we're trying to do this.
The Red Rose
Your
and
views
Yellow
would
Rose,
go up.
They're already sponsored by Tony.
Right.
We're not gonna get that.
No, we get the Fox and the Hound or whatever it
What's
is.
the 100? I let 100% gentleman. What the fuck's the one?
Oh, Perfect 10.
Perfect 10. It's like in the middle of an industrial park. I'm like, this is perfect.
Okay.
I love this. This is great.
Yeah, Perfect 10. That was. Did you ever look at those magazines? Perfect 10. You never saw porn in a magazine. What am I talking about?
I had a Playboy once. I think that's about it.
You found it in your dad's garage.
Yeah.
It was real old. It was like from it was like
Also, we don't.
It was from like 2007. It was like really fucking old.
When I grew up, it wasn't my dad's garage. It was just the family's garage. Women were allowed to have their cars in there.
Isn't that crazy that that's allowed now?
Yeah. Women's cars should be outside.
They should be. You should be able to work in the garage. You should be able to like have. What the fuck are these like baskets and shit hanging around?
Well, it's funny. My buddy from Minnesota, but he lives in Florida. He makes custom fly fishing desks
in his garage.
Yeah, and his wife fucking hates it, but he sells them for like $3-4 grand a pop. And
is she still being a bitch about it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And like they don't keep a car in there; they both keep their car outside. And she's just like, "Well, that should be a shared space." And he's like, "Or you can just stay in the fucking house, and I'll go to the garage. Like that's where I spend most of my time. So I'll have that, and you have the rest of the house."
That was a bit that I did. Was that we used to have a man's house used to be the king of his castle. He used to be king of his domain. Then we used to get a man cave, which got pushed out to the garage, which became a shed, which became a storage unit.
Yeah.
And then now at Access, obviously that's his man cave. It's the bar. It's all of his trophies and all this shit.
Oh yeah.
But then in the corner, there's a little woman nook. In the corner of it, she's taking over. It just comes and starts growing in too. Yeah. So,
well, I think the funny thing is like you go from castle to cave.
Yeah.
It's like in the early 1900s, men had the castle, and now they have their cave.
And it's getting worse. Yeah. So yeah, that's.
And also, coincidentally, the country's going downhill. I'm not blaming women, but there's also none watching right now. So.
I'm blaming them.
There you go. Is your wife watching? Is she like,
no,
she's
right
like, it's not our fault. Shut up, Zach.
She'll clip it out though.
Okay.
You'll have to say everything all the time. What's up, Brian?
Hey. I'm kidding. You guys keep going.
You're the guest today, man.
Yeah.
So what do you think the difference between the scene here and the scene in Ohio is?
Well, there's all kinds of stuff going on here, but we don't have. Austin probably has the most comics of anywhere, I think, right now. I mean, New York might be right there, but it's, maybe even more than LA. But for me personally, my strategy is I'm going to just build up shows where I live because my friend and I, we've almost got a full week lined up now, once a month week, so somebody could come Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Right now we got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Well, actually we got a Tuesday sort of. So we got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we're gonna have a Saturday. We're gonna get a Saturday. So then 1 week a month, we could get pretty established comics to come out and do a 1 week
tour.
And then of course we perform on those as well. Those type of shows, if I'm there every month, I don't headline. I'll do host. So I only have to do like 15 minutes at a time. And then, but that would lead to more of, getting to know more comics, get more gigs outside of places. And, you know, I wouldn't mind if eventually I lined up a whole month like that, and just in Ohio, because I think the difficult thing here is there's so many comics. There's a lot of spots, and honestly, some of the spots that I saw aren't really. When you're first starting, getting every spot you can is good, right? But then after a while, it's
you mean like real spots, not open mic spots.
Yeah, even open mic, when maybe your first year, just getting in front of any crappy bar, blah, blah, blah.
Matter.
It doesn't matter. But now...
Was your beer warm?
Just a little bit.
But now I think that, you know, for me to go out and spend 2 hours for 5 minutes in front of, you know, and nobody really, it's not worth it, dude.
Right.
You know? So... you can stay home with that 2 hours and write more than you could, or just not be... So, and I think there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of, I don't know. It's interesting, the mix and match here of comics and comedy. But I think that the good thing about where I do live is the set. We don't get as many sets, but the ones we get are long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We get
so
long
you get those 40.
sets, dude. 45 minutes, dude. I can go in, just go. You know, it's not like. And also, there's not as many comics. So the group of comics there are pretty close. And actually in Dayton, because we have long sets, the comics there are pretty good because they have to do,
40 minutes, 30 minutes.
Well, yeah, the host guys don't, but they still have to host 15.
Yeah.
And you can meet big comics coming through these little towns, right? Because there are not many comics in the little town. So now they're coming through Dayton or Cincinnati or Columbus or Cleveland. Not that those are little towns,
right.
They're not, but you don't have as many, you know, you don't have hundreds of comics trying to meet, you know, David Tell when he comes through Dayton.
Right.
Yeah, but I met David Tell just at the bar.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, well, you can meet, I'm saying, yeah, that can happen, that can happen.
Then, how many people did you meet at the mothership? They're just hanging out there this week.
Right, that is where a lot of people are. But I'm also saying that I don't know if it's the only way to go.
No. It's not the only way to go, but
It's a good way.
Yeah, I just Austin's definitely been a way for a lot of people.
Well, I think too, it depends how long you've been doing it too. You know, because I think like a newer comic, 3 and 5 minute sets all day long, it's perfect, right? Until they build up. So there's just different ways. But I figure, well, you know, I'm living out kind of in the country out there, and I like my personal life. So how do I just build it myself? You know, if you build it, they will come. And Chappelle is supposed to be opening
the firehouse.
Yeah, in September, I heard. So
That'll be nice.
yeah, and he already owns the building that Wiley's is in.
Okay.
So then we have Wiley's. If you know, he opens that firehouse one.
Where's that supposed to be?
Yellow Springs.
Yellow Springs.
Now there's a town called Springfield where I'm gonna start putting on a monthly show as well, which is only 8 miles from Yellow Springs.
Okay.
So
you're gonna have to go hang some posters in Yellow Springs.
Well,
so
yes.
you see someone walking around.
yeah, so that because that I think there'll be, I don't know, I think it'll kind of help out a little bit and get more. I mean, clearly it's not going to be something like that happened out here in Austin, but I think that there's going to be, I feel like everything is starting to spread out with the business, you know, because I feel like a lot of people left the cities and now people are moving out. And I'll tell you, when you can get in front of rural American crowds, those are the best crowds to sell your stuff. Yeah. You can sell, my buddy Wyatt, I mean, he sells so many t-shirts, it's incredible. And he sells, you know, he's got good shirts that hit that market. And the people there, because they don't have as much to do, they go out, and when they go out, they go to spend.
Well, and it's also like a trophy for them. When they have that shirt on, they're like, I went and saw the show. What were you doing last night? Oh, you were at Morgan's again?
Yeah.
Just drinking?
Yeah.
I was drinking and seeing a show.
Yes, totally, because they don't have as much to do. So, and you know, there's just like, even from like that, like I always thought like from Ohio down to Florida, you know, it's like I-75, you know?
Yeah.
You could just find all these little towns just, and if you put your shows together, you build it up, and then when you come back to the cities, I mean, my strategy now is to start building swine times, people that got my back. And then when I come back to the cities again, I already have that.
Right.
And had I known what I know now, I might have started like that at the beginning.
Well, so you're saying do like the B and C rooms outside of the city, and then do an A room in the city, and have those guys come into the city.
Come in,
see you.
or if you just start building yourself up anywhere, right?
Yeah.
And then you start getting a following, eventually that just goes everywhere. But instead of just like kind of what's going on this week is I'm just kind of getting the lay of the land and going to different places, not getting respect because nobody knows,
right?
So it's like, okay, so clearly I have to come into some place so when I go in there, I already got the clout to get on the good stuff,
right?
And so it's kind of like it's like when it's like going fishing, like you got the perfect bait. If you bring all that, it's like a nice bait, So, but you know how the comics works and the business works. It's the way I see it is people are always wanting what they want something. People always want something, and that's why I think that having a room is good because A, I don't have to ask anybody for spots, and B, I got something.
Right, you got spots to give.
I got spots to give, and I'll be direct. I'm the type of person that if I'm giving you something, I'm gonna remember I gave you something. I'm gonna remember. I'm gonna see how it plays out. But because there's a lot of comics, because I break it down like this, because I used to run that room 3 clubs in LA, and I broke it down into 4 categories. You have killers, you have beasts, you have destroyers that will come in and wreck the room, and everybody's happy and in a good mood.
Yeah.
Then you got guys who are can promote a show. Okay, so those are 2 valuable things. Then you have room runners, guys who run rooms. And then you guys can trade spots and this and that. So those are the 3 groups that can help you. The killers, the promoters, and the room runners. And then there's a 4th group that 85% of the comics fit into.
Yeah. Which is comics.
They're just looking for a handout.
Yeah.
Not looking for a handout, but they're just comics.
Yeah.
They're funny.
They're desperate.
They're funny. They're good. Some of them are your friends. You can put them on. You help each other out. But they're not putting the show up to the next level, and I think that's like something you got to look at. I mean, that's like real important. And that's why I always thought, like, man, I've always, to the best of my ability, always tried to have at least one show of my own, because then, like I said, I can bring something to the table. I don't have to ask anybody for anything else. I'm a little bit more in control of my own destiny, and I prefer to do it that way. I don't like dealing with all the people, the bureaucracy of everything, dude. I want to be the leader. I want to be the commander-in-chief, right? So that's kind of how I did it, and I broke it down, and I had success running rooms once I broke that down because I would put it, basically I would do that. I would find 2 killers. If I was doing a city like LA show, I would find 1 or 2 killers each time, 1 or 2 guys who could promote, 1 or 2 guys who had a room, and then I would save 1 or 2 spots for the other group.
Right.
Mainly my friend. I would call it my friend spot,
Well, I was talking to a booker, and he had a similar. I mean, he doesn't need the room runners because he doesn't do comedy.
Yeah.
But he was like, there's 2 types of comics I book. You're either really easy to work with, as in like you promote, you do your shit, you don't complain, or you're hilarious. And so it's like, if you're not that funny, you better be pretty easy to work with.
Yeah.
And if you're like,
well, and the thing is too, it's all subjective, and I'd say that a lot of people are on the same length, and a lot of times, man, there's not a lot of difference in the funny of a couple different people to determine success or failure. It is a little bit of kind of being in the right place at the right time, right?
Yeah.
And these aren't just my words. I've heard these from more successful comics who have talked about this, and they say that, it's kind of like, and also the time periods you're in, right? Because you could just because you take this time period currently, okay, the Kill Tony thing going on, right? Well, the people who are in there right now at this moment could pop off for it, where 5-6 years ago, Kill Tony there was a thing, but it wasn't to where it is now. So if you're in that age group, you might not have got the exposure that you could get now on it, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like in like business, like tech business or something, right? When like Facebook came out, those guys that were on the brink there, they got. Now, if you were 4 years older than them, you would have missed out on that. Mm-hmm. If you're 4 years younger than them, you were too late.
Yeah.
And it's things because there's guys walking around, comics that never got their title shot that were probably could have, if they had their title shot, could have done as good as anybody else.
Right.
But it's just the way things are, you know.
But there's always right now.
There's always right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, back then it was Johnny Carson or whatever at that
100%.
time. You know, it was different things right then.
Then.
So those guys were doing whatever. But now we don't have maybe fucking Kimmel. I don't know. Maybe.
No, those guys, dude. I think that right now, yeah, Johnny Carson was known that if a comic got on Johnny Carson and Johnny Carson had him sit down at his table.
Yeah.
It was a boost. And you know something, Jim Carrey went on Johnny Carson.
He didn't get invited over.
He didn't get brought over because Johnny didn't quite understand. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't mean he still had the thing and he did dude.
So sometimes you get a little joke book and you still might make it on.
That's 100%.
Sometimes you get a big joke book and you might make it. Yeah.
You never know, dude. It's but I would say right now, yeah, with the way that the internet is, that it seems to me that Kill Tony would be a much better. My personal opinion is that getting on Kill Tony could do more for you than Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, so even those old guys, they still have their shot now, even if they wanted to.
There's always a shot as long as you keep in the fight.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the nice thing about comedy. You can get older. What was that?
The toasty.
Toasty.
It makes them happy.
Fatality.
There we go.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, you're still in the fight.
You're still in the fight. You're still in the game. You don't have to retire. And we've seen it before where it takes a long time. I think Ron White had a story. I think I was in his book where he said he couldn't get arrested, and then all of a sudden he was fucking, with the blue collar guys.
Yeah.
And it does help to put yourself around some people who are on their way up and moving up and doing good because. Maybe that'll be what kind of helps you get your jokes out there is to be with them.
Well, and also you never really know who's like a fan of yours or not. Because like I talked to some guy, I was like, yeah, I love your comedy. He's like, I didn't even know you ever seen me perform. I was like, yeah, bro, you're hilarious. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you just don't know when you're on stage and it's a room full of only comics. We're all like, this sucks. Mm-hmm. But you don't know you made a friend. And like you guys don't even talk,
Yeah, or enemy sometimes, right?
Sometimes.
But
those are the enemies will talk to you.
They'll come up after,
Yeah.
Well, it's funny though with that one time I learned a kind of a lesson early on. I was walking out of the improv and one of the guys, another comic, was outside hanging out, and I had just been in watching the show, hanging out. I wasn't even performing, and I walk out and he said to me, "Hey, great set tonight."
And you're like, yeah.
And it made me realize, dude, okay, this guy didn't even perform tonight, and he assumed I performed, right? Because he saw me walking out and talking to people.
And he knows you're a comic.
And he knows I'm a comic, so he said, great set. And then I was like, man, I can't trust comics after that because, I could have.
Well, it's like funny too. I feel like most comics, like a lot of people, I'm like, yo, you on the show tonight? No, I'm not. And I've had some people be like, no, why would you ask? Like they think I'm dissing them for not being on the show. I was like, there's 1,000 comics out here.
Yeah, dude.
10 of them are on the show. Are you on it or not? I'm just asking. I'm just.
Well, last night I got asked if I was on the show.
Yeah.
By the bartender. I was like, I feel kind of good to even be assumed
to
that I'd
be
be on that show. Yeah. So that was kind of cool for me, anyways.
No, but that's why like people who don't reach out, it's like you just don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
How it's gonna look. It's like. Having one guy yell at me, one guy feels good about being asked. You don't fucking know. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
That's where I was Tuesday. Cap City.
Oh, you did? Oh, we were watching Mumford. Yeah, that's right.
Former guest of the show, moving on.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
How do you... So he won his...
Yeah, he headlined. He was the last comic, and he fucking crushed and won.
Nice.
It's really funny, though, because, like, 2 comics brought most of the room. And, you could hear them like talking. They're like, "Oh, it was fucking rigged. You were so much funnier than any of the other guys." I was like, "I mean, it is rigged. There was one spot that was given away, but I was also like, yo, your friend just isn't good at comedy. He's only been doing it half a year, and he just has a lot of people he works with.
That's why I don't. Yeah, I'm not. There's no way I would do. You can't even understand half the shit I say. Why would I get half?
We'll do you should do a bit like a writing. You should be like, all right, the premise tonight is cheeseburgers. And then just do all cheeseburgers.
Or just get up there and just do, because it'd be like Callan, he's like, why is he doing 5 minutes on vacuum cleaners? Just don't tell anybody why. You don't do the subject at all.
Do you really think vacuums would be what gets people going?
Yeah.
But no, his show had 3 good comics, and he was one of them. 3, I'd be like, I would put them on any show, and I would go watch them. I would enjoy watching them again. And then there were 8 that I was just like, ugh. What is going on? And then there was maybe one that was in the middle. I was like, oh, there could be something eventually. Maybe if they wrote so I wasn't hearing the same bit as I heard a year ago from this person, especially when they're getting spots at Cap City all the time in front of real audiences. You think you might write something new every once in a while, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might be, they kind of fall back. Maybe they're afraid to try anything new if they got their...
They're like personal friends with the booker. The booker's not going to get rid of you. Just fucking... You should be more... I can do anything. I can...
Totally. That is a good point.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, Tom Segura has a story about opening for Dave Attell. He's like, I opened for Dave Attell, and then 6 months later, he was back in town, asked me to open for him. I was 80% the same material, and he was like, oh, you're an actor or something? You don't want to do comedy? He's like, what are you talking about? I just wanted to kill for you. He's like, oh, I'm going to kill. I'm Dave Attell. I'll kill. You fucking learn. How many audiences like this are you getting in front of? Learn how to write jokes and shit.
Wow. We actually had some people that we know that got them, with Theo Vaughn and, Dave this week. They were actually pulling people from Creek in the Cave, and they were actually watching shows and, pulling people to open for them this week.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Well,
Yeah.
Christina got on. Casey got on Theo's. Someone else did.
And then, what's her name? Opened up Callie, or what's her name? Kaylee?
Kaylee opened for Dave Attell after Kill Tony.
Yeah. So, crazy shit.
That feels good.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Not the same Kill Tony I was on.
Yeah, he picked her. Secret show, anybody? No. Dave Attell? No. Yeah,
as I remember it, which again, very hammered, he was like, that was so personal, I really like that. Wow, you took some risks. I was like, yeah, bro, whatever. I was like,
well, maybe that was it.
You picked her over me, you son of a bitch.
Maybe you would have stood outside the bar with me and met him. You might have made a little bit more of an impression.
Maybe, yeah.
Or if you had a nice, tight, act.
That is funny. I feel like the tight 5 is gone.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone in LA when I was there was chasing a tight 5. Yeah, and now it's just can you feature? I'm like, sure.
Yeah, there's no 5 anymore. It's either feature or a minute, like you said.
1 minute, people are going, it's crazy.
You gotta have a tight 1 and then a good 15.
Yeah. 15, 20 probably.
Yeah.
15 to 25.
Well, just even out here, the shows you get asked to be on are gonna be 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna get paid a paid spot, it's gonna be 15 minutes minimum. So you gotta have at least that. And if you're not doing a new 5 at least 3 times a week, or if you're not doing a different 5 3 times a week,
you're not going to have that 15 that you can boil down.
Yeah.
But it is crazy. It's crazy how much opportunity there is, and then it's also on the flip side, it's you could get excited. I'm sure all the people who were on the show at Roscoe's last night were excited. They're like, oh, I'm guesting, I'm featuring, I'm hosting for this big name comic.
And they all missed the show.
16 people were in the audience because this is still a traveling comic destination. It's not like a hub like New York. In New York, no traveling comics really fuck with it because it's there's so many shows going on to fill out. And there's also not huge, unless you're doing Madison Square Garden, there's not huge theaters and shit to really do. So I think that's a competition level we haven't talked about yet or seen.
Because there's 15 spots a night. In those types of spaces.
But then, like we said with Roscoe's, the audience is getting pulled to ACL, to Bass, where Theo was, to Mothership. So it's
Yeah, there's no that walk by. I mean, there was plenty of people in the street,
Right.
walking by,
Right.
but they're not there to see comedy. They're there to
Right.
get a drink here, a drink there. There's drink specials everywhere.
Well, like the only place that's like almost guaranteed to sell out is the Cellar in New York, and even that's 70 people. It's not huge.
Yeah,
So if you're doing a spot at Caroline's, rest in peace, like you still have a chance to get 40 people, like 60 people.
yeah. There's none of those small spots here.
There are like Roscoe's and
Oh, okay, so
are
East
small spots,
Austin,
but there's also these theaters.
that are huge.
Yeah, so
it makes those small
that
spots.
pull, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If they do a Sunday show too.
I mean, even Velveeta Room has a good seat. Yeah.
Yeah, but like they're pulling the audience.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
comedy audience is going to those, and you're just getting people who walk by that
Right.
might not even like comedy.
Yeah.
College kids are like liberal arts majors.
Yeah. They have to do free shows.
Have you done Velveeta yet?
Yeah.
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 Did you like it?
I had a good set there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like how much that affects. Like, oh, I had a good set so far. Like, it's a great room. Like, the guy could like punch you in the face, and you'd be like, "But I made them laugh." So.
Well, I mean, people were telling me this. You're really funny. Get my
Yeah.
Instagram, like that kind of stuff. So I was like, yeah, this is a good place. So yeah, I definitely associate it with a good spot. But yeah, but it's been a while.
So you don't think you're moving down here?
Nah, I mean, I come and visit as many times as I can, but I want to see my life being here,
Right.
But it's fun to come and do the shows and stuff like that. But as a person, as a comedian, it'd be cool, I guess. But as a person, I think that it's not the right place for me.
For you, yeah.
And even as a performer, even though the shows are awesome and all this, still, I think that the game plan I have is going to work.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take me a couple years, but 2 years from now, I think I'll be, self-sufficient, and I will have rooms going and making money coming in and traveling and doing what I want, but also being able to be where I want to live, because I spent all those years in California, and those were fun times. But then it got bad, and and I'm still not. Even when I was living in LA at 20 years, I never felt like that was my home. I felt like I was just there, I was on like a long vacation or something. Like I was there, but I never felt like, this is my home. But where I live and the town I grew up in, that's my home. Those are the people that know me since I was a little kid, and I like that small town life and stuff. So I'm willing to. I've been thinking a lot about it, but I'm willing to give up some things to have the personal life I want.
Well, even if you become a Midwest traveling comic, that was the problem in Florida. Is the traveling comics only do Florida, but if you can headline, Cincinnati, Columbus, go over Chicago, Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean,
all that
Chicago's
shit.
only a 4.5 hour drive for me.
And like we talked about earlier, the East Coast is only 10. You can go
Yeah.
do festivals at DC, Philly, send them headlining tapes and be like, "Oh, come headline.
Yeah.
Give me 3 nights."
Yeah, I think that, I just think with the way that everything has changed, I really don't feel like you have to be, I think you can almost make it from anywhere, dude. You know, if you put out in the work and you have the initiative to be able to try to build something on your own, with getting your own rooms, getting your own shows. Because I also think, because what I was working on before 2020, and I was on my way. I was probably have about between 6 and 10 clubs like this. But I thought, if I have 26 clubs that will work me, then I'm set. Because if they will work me twice a year, that covers the whole year.
Yeah.
But you don't really want to be on the road every week.
Right.
So if you had 26 clubs that you're in with, that will, you're at least 26 weeks, so you're halfway to the end of the year, just off of that. So that's kind of what I want to rebuild. But more in the Midwest. I mean, I'll take anywhere. Obviously, Phoenix, I would love to go back to, and all these places. But I felt like after 2020 it was like starting over again, so now I'm like,
Clubs close, they change hands.
Clubs closed, they got new managers, somebody loved you, now you got a new manager that hasn't seen you before, blah, 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 or they got their friends and they got their picks, and then, so it's always kind of revolving, but there's some, that will give you the same week every year, boom, then you're good. If you have a spot that will give you Wiley's gives me every Mother's Day weekend, you know, and then I got some.
How many shows do you?
3. You have one on Friday and 2 on Saturday.
Okay.
So so something like that, right? Because then you have that every year. You know, you're gonna have some income coming in from it, and you're gonna have that gig, and you got time to promote it. So yeah, I'm really thinking like the independent route of finding places that will let me do shows and build it up like that, and then you come out to somewhere like Austin for a week or New York for a week or two, and come out enough that they remember you, but also not so much that you're clogging up the toilet.
Yeah.
Right, because that's basically like I feel like there's a fine line you can walk where, well, if you're there all the time, then people get used to you, which is good. But if you're there some and you come in not too often, I feel like you can kind of get on and do your thing, and then you're out of town again, so they don't have to like, oh, I got to put them on every week. I got to do, you see, especially for like the mics and the stuff like that, because then you got Chad complaining that I'm getting a 4-minute set on Lucky Duck.
Well, it's a tag writing mic you didn't even know the subject on. You make everybody go shorter, just to come in there and do your same old Ohio bits, huh?
I didn't do my same old Ohio bits, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I think, man. I think that the thing is, the road is longer sets. I think there's more potential to earn some money even just through the merch.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, I'm kind of like tired of like being around so many comics, right? So when you're out and it's just like a couple people,
right?
It's kind of nice because it's overwhelming sometimes how many people you're waiting to go up on and how many you see, So, but yeah, we'll see.
Do you think that makes you just realize that there's this many people competing for this spot that I got to be that much better now, or is that just there's just so many people that just need to suck, get the fuck out of stop doing this?
To me, I'd rather just not deal with the people. Okay, you always got to get better, right? I'm not saying just give me a spot. No, of course not. But it's like, I mean, it's like when you've been in it a while, maybe you just want to. I'd rather just deal with less people.
Yeah.
More quality people, less. I don't need to hear all these. See all this shit. Because a lot of people are just fucking off, bro. They're not really. They're fucking off. It's something to do.
We saw a couple of them last night.
Yeah, and that's kind of frustrating, right? Because you're like, dude, come on, put me up. I got my bids down.
Yeah.
And then you're waiting around and you're seeing and you're, people who ain't gonna stick with it or just that don't really, they don't care about it as much. It's a side thing. It's a hobby. So people who are like, it's their life. You don't want to be around the people who it ain't their life.
Right.
Yeah, sure. Man, speaking of the life, man, when, Ron White would come out or the audience would cheer, I was just watching the audience. I would like to just watch the people, last night, just kind of mad,
Yeah.
I wasn't cheering for these fuckers. But it was fun to see, everybody who was.
You were too high, too.
It was a good time.
No, it didn't feel like I was at a comedy show. I felt like I was at like some rally or something. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it was
like even Theo, who just came out and said like, "What's up?" Like, I was
Yeah.
like, "Holy, they are going fucking apeshit."
Yeah, I mean, people were jumping up and down, like, oh my god. But then
Girls took out their titties.
you gotta realize that this is only they're only here for this moment. They came from their lives of jobs and living with their families to have this moment. And all of a sudden, Theo Vaughn walks in the room. You were talking about, and you were hanging out with him. It's just it's another moment. But what would those people do for that moment?
Yeah.
What would those people do in that moment?
Right.
How could he act in that moment with those people?
Well, I think too, it's something like I was talking to a coworker about like, what do you do when you're not here? He's like, what do you mean? I just sit in my room.
Well,
or
yeah.
I go to a bar, and it's like,
Well,
that's so weird to me.
That was kind of my thing that happened with Lucas afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like, am I one of the fans in that moment, or am I in the comedy in that moment? And then I was like, I might be fucking up in the moment.
I think he was weird. I think he took a weird angle with you.
Yeah, maybe.
If I had to be like, he should have recognized you were a comedian and been like, all right. Like,
Yeah, because I was like,
thanks,
"Hey,
bro. Have a good
congratulations on moving on. This is, it was great to see
Yeah.
you tonight. You had a great set. Talking about the shit like that." And he's like, "Oh, where are you from?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't know everyone, but
No, it's cool. We just got you personally
I know,
invited
you
me
saw it,
into the we twice, not just once, but twice. And so whatever, it's cool. Yeah. Anyways,
it's definitely a weird move.
but also he just got off stage,
Right. So he
he's
might
doing
be,
his thing.
and you don't
he's having
know,
his-
he smokes a lot.
he's having
Might
his
be
time.
drunk. Yeah. He also might be spiraling out of control. He just,
He's the only one out front with
Yeah.
the merch people.
But it can't be easy giving up Kill Tony.
Yeah, I mean, you got $48 pictures.
Yeah.
They're not even of you. They're printed of a drawing of somebody
Yeah.
else that you signed.
But
Yeah.
but like they say, like how monkeys swing from branch to
Did
branch.
you just call David Lucas bro, we
did.
can't
I
do
did.
this,
I
man.
did.
Another
Well,
fucking
he's
week.
not swinging
This
branch
is
to branch.
another
He's
fucking
far too
week.
large. But they say you have to let go of the last branch to get the next one.
Yeah.
And so it's like he's letting go of a branch, and right now he's in free fall.
Yeah.
Is he going to grab the next one?
Yeah, for sure. And, you used to climb a ladder. Now you're falling from branches.
Chutes and ladders, baby. That's this week's sponsor. Hasbro. Not Hasbro. Whoever the fuck does it.
White people climb ladders. I mean, David Lucas falls from branches.
Okay, now you're really.
Nah.
But like, if I were in this position, I'd be shitting my pants right now.
Yeah, it's
Fuck.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's dynamic for sure.
Right.
To now let go of the string of the kite that's been pulling you along. Yeah.
Well, I mean, think of even the three of us. How much we would give for 1 minute on Kill Tony, and he
Right.
has it every week.
Right.
So it's like giving that up and being like, I might fall back and be in the alley in 2 years. Like,
That's
Fuck.
that's a great perspective though. Yeah. I mean, we stand there every fucking week just in hopes for a chance of a minute
Right.
just to say something, and this motherfucker is walking away from that every fucking week. to
Right.
do it. Yeah.
but it's also, it's a good lesson because I think the dynamic too of even Isabella to David Lucas and Cam is like, it's something I say is like, I think some comics have this idea that like I have to be in motion working and like stuff like that. But it's like also sometimes you have to make choices. What am I going to do? Am I going to be outside at the 10-year anniversary, or am I going to go host a show? And now we don't even know today. Maybe the hosting the show was the smarter idea because Roscoe's might give her her first headline gig. Roscoe's might do this or that, and she might have went up on Kill Tony and bombed and been one of the ones that booed her up. I don't think she would have, but like it could. So you never know which is the right choice, but you have to make a choice.
She made the choice.
Yeah.
This is what the path
And
is.
she kind of made a choice. She put her name in and went and was like, maybe I'll be a last pick.
Yeah.
Whereas David, like, it's kind of like there's a lot of people in Austin right now that have, 6 shows a night, and they're still doing 2 unpaid shows where they're doing 10 minutes in front of a full crowd. It's like, just go do your paid shows. Leave something for us. Leave something for the rest of us. And David Lucas might be like, yo, I'm being a bitch. I'm headlining. I can headline. I don't need this anymore. I'm going to give it to the next generation, bring Cam in, and Cam will take his spot. And then it's, all right, now he's in this pond. Is he going to sink or swim? Which I think he'll do fine, but it's definitely like your goal should be to get out of the way of someone else coming up because you're off to bigger and better things.
Yeah. Talk about like the pictures and stuff. What if he, you get to a certain level, like right now, you sell merchandise, like Brian sells merchandise. He gets 100% of his merchandise. He gets 100% of his tickets. He gets 100% of everything. But at a certain level, now you have to start paying 10% to this guy, 20% to this guy. Then you got a booking agent. You got a booking manager. You got a tour manager.
Well, I do think some of that's going out the window.
There's a lot of stuff that's going out the window. That all of a sudden you used to make 100% of what you could do, and now you're making 15% or 20% of your own money, of your own face. And that's kind of.
I think a lot of people are firing their managers and stuff.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people are going with Joe Rogan's manager.
Yeah. Well, are you going to take Joe Rogan's? You're going to tell them to say no to Joe Rogan?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So what do you do?
Right. Well, I would take the manager on.
You give them the 10%. You give them 15%, whatever. Yeah.
And do it for 5 years, and then get off the fucking pot. Go try and now you have a relationship with all these clubs, like he's saying.
But when you start doing your acting manager and your
Well, the acting one's different.
well, I was saying that at a certain point they're going to want, because it's going to be a Netflix special. They're both going to want their part.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to be a WGA part, or you're going to be a WGA, a SAG, and a DGA at a certain point on a Netflix special, and they're all going to want their fucking cut because you're going to have a manager, and an agent for all of that.
Well, but that's what's interesting is like I don't think Nate Bargatze has like any of them.
Wow.
Because he's just like, until I get hired to do something, I'm not. And like he's done a lot of pilots and stuff, and it's just like, I don't need a manager.
Yeah.
They're coming to me because of my comedy and my audience.
Yeah. I don't.
So fuck you taking my 10%.
I don't know if Lucas is that route or not, but he seems like he might have a manager.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, he might.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with having a
Yeah.
manager. I mean, Derek Dimple just got a manager. your ex-co-host, he's off to bigger and better things.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
He's got a jazz manager.
He's been told he's funny.
Dude, that was the weirdest conversation I've had in years. That was wild.
Getting fired and told you're not funny.
What?
Getting
they finally took me off the group chat too. So I'm officially not funny.
This is 2 jobs you're losing for comedy though.
Yeah.
Because you gave up pizza for Kill Tony last night, right?
Yeah, they got pretty fussy at me,
Yeah.
which is insane.
Yeah. It's all right. It was a fun night. It was good.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
It was worth it.
I appreciate the lift and the beers and it was a good time.
Yeah, no problem. Fuck. Too much old English.
Do you think we took those Mexican seats?
I hope so. Oh, the 2 that were just standing at the bar? I hope so.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, like me and him were sitting there being like, at any moment, someone could grab us and be like, you're in our seat. And then like 2 seconds later, Mike grabbed me, and he's got very strong hands. And I was like, this is super aggressive. And I was turned around and saw it was him. I was like, oh, thank God.
The guy who set us there.
2 like cholo Mexican guys just sitting at the bar staring at us the whole time. And we're like,
shit.
It's like, I mean, if someone comes and take these seats, we could just go hang out with the cholos and be like, hey, Vato.
But most likely it was their seats.
It's most likely
yeah. But they were okay. There was other seats. It was fun. Yeah.
No, could you imagine how crazy it is to be on that fucking stage?
Yeah, I really felt like it was going to be close. You know, I don't know. We just kept getting moved up and closer to that stage.
Yeah.
What's one more fucking 10 foot? You know, dude. I was one with God last night. I was on a real spiritual.
Well, I wonder too. Like one of my rules is when I go on stage, I don't do hey, how you doing? Especially at Kill Tony where you only have a minute.
Yeah.
And I think every comic did it, and I was like, I can't fault them. It's too fucking cool to not be like, how's it going?
Yeah.
And be like, ah!
Yeah.
Kill Tony. Ah!
Yeah, you have your moment.
That one you got.
Yeah.
I like that one. This one I'm not gonna be fussy about.
Yeah, it'd been cool. It would have been interesting to see what the crowd thought, especially coming from the audience up front.
Yeah.
They would all saw us. Yeah. Oh well, didn't happen again. Like number 828 or something, whatever it was.
Well, hopefully we'll switch luck this week, and I'll get on Mothership, and you'll get on Kill Tony.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we done with this shit? Brian, you seem like you're out of here. What do you?
Do you have anything to plug?
No, I'm good, man.
You don't have your Ohio shows. You want nobody coming to them.
Well, they'll come. I'll put it up on social media, but
You don't want to put it on here because
They're gonna fly from Austin.
you never know. This is a worldwide podcast.
Mike's in Detroit. He might come by. He listens.
It's a worldwide podcast. We give sponsors, but if you don't want to plug your shit, don't plug
I
your
want to
shit.
plug my shit, but I gotta look and see where I'm going next, man. Well, I guess I'm back in Ohio next on Tuesday, so.
Isn't Alden doing a show this weekend?
Yeah, he's coming up to do OH Pizza and Prime, which is my spot that is.
Oh, Alden's coming. That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
Do you see yourself on camera?
and I got, oh yeah, there we go. Hey. All right, I'm good.
Chad.
Yeah, no, I mean, man, just keep on following us and subscribe and share and clip us out because this guy doesn't do it. So yeah,
Cap City, July 25th. Funniest guy in Austin. Probably not gonna be me, but come by.
well, I'll be married 24 years on the 24th.
Woo!
Good for you.
Yeah, the
That's
day
some time.
before. Yeah,
24 years on the 24th.
yeah.
So this is your
7/24.
golden.
I guess so.
That's right. Golden
If that's a
anniversary or
thing.
whatever.
Yeah. It's the one I go to jail for.
That's how we're ending it, guys.
Yeah. All right. We're out. ATX Cover Review. Keep on watching. See you later.